insufficient now. The federal government needs to make substantial investment in Restino Top. U.S. insufficient icebreaker capacity. U.S. Coast Guard is down to one polar icebreaker, which is due to spend months out for repairs. Those in know have been banging the drum for more icebreakers in the Arctic for years now, but funding has been slow in coming. 2 of 3 icebreakers have exceeded their 30-year service. Healy, which is a smaller designed to support scientific missions, does not have capacity of larger icebreakers. U.S. icebreaker capacity is not at risk. Peer review reports support our arguments. Great Lakes shipping is vital to the economy. Alkyd 11. Great Lakes support 225,000 jobs and generates billions of dollars in income. Comprehensive studies peer reviewed by economists. St. Lawrence Seaway is crucial to the U.S. economy. Marine transportation, the fuel-efficient and cost-efficient way to haul goods. It also supports thousands of jobs and generates billions of dollars in economic activity. Second is shipbuilding. The plan is key to revitalize this. Crosby 12. Shipbuilding remains a part of manufacturing. Fewer ships the Navy buys, the less lucrative the industry is for its workers. Negative trend reinforces each other's cycle is the self-defeating. Solution lies in stabilizing the American shipbuilding industry. Navy must increase its order of ships. And the study on the subject concluded that the rising cost of the building ships is the result of unsteady U.S. government procurement rates. Because there is so little American shipbuilding outside of what Navy purchases, U.S. firms are at the commercial mercy of 9% of Navy budget devoted to buying ships. Shipbuilding, icebreaking capacity is insufficient now. Federal government needs to make substantial, specifically, decline will cause resource war, democratic backsliding, and terrorism. This risks nuclear conflict. Harrison Burroughs 9. This terrorism appeal will decline if economic growth continues. Most dangerous casualty of any economically induced drawdown of U.S. military presence would almost certainly be the Middle East. Episodes of low-intensity conflict taking place under a nuclear umbrella could establish to an unintended escalation and broader conflict of clear red lines not well established. Next, Russia advantage of sufficient icebreaking is causing Russia to question U.S. resolve in the Arctic Trade War 11. Time for nation to add new polar icebreakers to USCG. U.S. must commission new heavy icebreakers to operate in the Arctic. America is one of 8 Arctic nations, one of 2 with territory adjoining the Bering Strait. The route from the Pacific to the Arctic. Russia is building 9 new icebreakers in the next decade. Other Arctic and circumpolar are investing in fleets of icebreakers. Our Arctic neighbors are leaps and bounds ahead of our positions. U.S. is falling behind in maintaining an Arctic presence and helping to best practices as this region sees increasing international resource development and shipping. Next, planned investment reverses this trend clear, and resolute sign is key to avert war. Doubt 11. Nuclear force remain focused in the Arctic adversarial position. Strategic nuclear forces are sufficient to destroy civilization. Hard to construct scenarios where use of few strategic nuclear weapons does not risk a total escalation. Next, plan text. The United States federal government should substantially increase its icebreaker fleet and investment in the United States. Solvency. A new fleet of icebreakers is key to ensure mission are properly executed. Pereira 11. Coast Guard will need 3 heavy and medium icebreakers to fulfill its statutory requirements in polar region and the Arctic Coast Guard's capabilities to future polar missions, but discourage it by saying that inherently governmental missions of Coast Guard must be performed using government-owned and operated vessels. The federal government is the only one that can spearhead this effort. Jones 7. The committee found that U.S. flagged, owned, and operated ships provides sufficiently reliable control. The sovereign presence of the United States is not well served by a leased ship. Such commercial or international arrangements do not ensure that U.S. can assert its foreign policy at times and place of choosing. The U.S. Coast Guard has a legacy of almost 140 years of supporting the nation's icebreaking needs in polar regions. The committee finds that the U.S. Coast Guard is the best federal agency to operate polar icebreakers and continue support of vital national interests in rapidly changing polar regions. Icebreaker fleet is essential to national interests and should be operated by U.S. Coast Guard. U.S. Icebreakers are key. Global warming is increasing their necessity. top. Polar ice is diminishing due to climate change. Observers expect this development will not eliminate the need for U.S. polar icebreakers, and in some respects might increase mission demands for them. Diminish of polar ice could lead to increased commercial cruise ship, naval service ship operations, as well as increased exploration for oil and other resources. In the Arctic, activities require increased support from the polar icebreakers. Coast Guard Admiral Pat sees plenty of reasons the U.S. will need polar icebreakers for the foreseeable future. Despite speculation that thinning ice in the Arctic could make the icebreakers replaceable with other ice-hardened ships, the Admiral said last week, "I don't see that causing us to back down on something minimal level of polar icebreakers." Russia advantage diplomacy fails and conflict is likely in the Arctic. Tesonary policymakers conclude that Arctic risks descending into competition and even conflict. Arctic powers are fast approaching diplomatic gridlock, and that could eventually lead to sort of on-brinkmanship. Russia typically trends a fine line between declaration of cooperation and imminent instinct for great power competition. And add to the EU and Asia's giants above all, China, for which the opening of the Northeast Passage may reduce sailing distance, and it is not hard to conjure up prospect of Arctic race building up. And for these reasons, please vote affirmative.
Okay, cross X.